you! What up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. I'm Maryam, but you probably already know that. In today's video, I'm doing another episode of Makeup for Real Life. This is a series that I like to do to show you an actual tutorial of a makeup look that I would do for a real life situation to look my best in real light. Also in studio light, but mainly in real life and in real light. So today's focus is going to be on glamorous makeup, a full glam that you would wear to an upscale event, perhaps to a wedding, perhaps to a corporate party, a birthday celebration, a concert, something that requires you to look a little bit more glammed up. But the bonus is wearing this makeup during the summertime, in humidity, in summertime heat. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make this glam makeup last throughout the day and also throughout the night while still looking good in real life, in real light. All right, you guys, that was a mouthful. That was actually kind of hard for me to put together because I am running on just 5 hours of sleep. More of that in the actual video. For now, I'm gonna get into this video. I'm just gonna remind you to subscribe if you aren't already and hit that notification bell. And now that I've said all that, let's get into this makeup for real life, full glam, in summertime heat. Let's do this. Oh, this mug could use some makeup right about now, let me tell you. Okay, so my hair is looking real cute right now because I actually am doing this makeup today for a very special occasion. Today is August 12th, Friday. I film my Sunday videos on Friday, and it is actually my brother and sister's 15th birthday. So today, I'm gonna be wearing this makeup for real life, in real life, and I am gonna be testing it through the day, through the heat, through the humidity, through the summer vibes. And of course, I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the day and throughout the day. So this is literally a makeup that I will be wearing in real life, in real light for a real life situation. All right, so to begin, I am going to grab this Keys Soulcare Let Me Glow Illuminating Serum. I really like the serum specifically for the fact that it gives the dew, it gives a lot of illumination, but it is a product that dries down. So although it gives you the shine, it's kind of like a non-transferable type of shine. Like it doesn't actually leave your skin looking greasy. So basically I apply this as a base, concentrating on the perimeter of my face, which is where I really want to glow and shine, but also blending into my nose and kind of everywhere. So this makeup that I'm gonna be wearing today is going to be very similar to the makeup that I wore yesterday, actually to an Alicia Keys concert. And before that, I went to a Keys Soulcare event, so it was a very long day. It was very hot in New York City. I feel like the weather right now is at the utmost humidity without any rain, which literally only happens what feels like in New York or in Miami. Like this kind of humid, unbearable heat is really bad for makeup. It makes makeup just melt. So I thought that was like a good premise or a good opportunity for me to show you how to make your full glam makeup last in that kind of situation, especially since I've actually been needing full glam lately. Okay, so now that my primer serum is on, I'm gonna grab my DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in the shade 7, which looks like it's much darker than me, but this shade actually matches the rest of me. My face is like 10 shades lighter than my body in the summertime because my face doesn't really tan very well, and also I don't tan it because I'm trying to protect that skin. And instead what I like to do is I like to match my face to my body. So I'm basically gonna grab my Rare Beauty foundation brush. I'm gonna slap that across the face, kind of liberally, kind of generously, like that. Almost looks like war paint. And then I'm gonna blend it out. So this is a product that I really love specifically for blurring my imperfections, for giving a little bit of a tint of color to my skin. As you can see, it blends out and it blurs almost into nothing, which is why the shades are so flexible. And also, probably most importantly, this controls oil and shine better than any other product that I've tried recently. This is like a summertime staple of mine, and this is literally what I wear in my real everyday life. Also, strangely enough, I'm breaking out all over my forehead, in the center of my forehead. I still have that horn from a couple of videos ago, but this time it's a new horn, like 2 millimeters away from the original horn, which is so annoying. And this doesn't happen to me very often. My forehead is usually pretty flawless, but this is that moment, the ever so often moment where my forehead is breaking out, the rest of my face is fine. I'm gonna attribute it to stress. I'm not gonna attribute it to humidity or something that I ate. I don't believe in that. I really do think that my skin conditions are directly related with stress. And I gotta say, this week before the full moon was really intense and really crazy for me. It was very rocky and very shaky. I wasn't feeling like myself. I felt like I didn't have my feet under me. Like something was definitely in the air. However, after the full moon, last night was like the first time where I felt like my energy was back. And I'll talk about that more as I'm doing the makeup. But yesterday was an amazing day. I feel like today's gonna be another amazing day, but I am just so wowed by the way that the energy can turn from totally disbalanced to really amazing. And that's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like I'm finally smooth sailing. Okay, so now that I have this base on my face, I'm gonna grab another Keys Soulcare product. And this one is actually the Sheer Flush Cheek Tint. I really like their cheek tints. I really like the fact that their products are skincare and makeup hybrids. So they work for everyone, especially for those of us with problematic skin, like me. Anyway, this shade is called Grace, and it's one of my absolute faves. So basically, I'm just illuminating and flushing my cheek area over here. I'm going in pretty liberally, as you can tell. And basically just adding this on top as my blush base. This is what's gonna help my blush stay put all night long. This is the step that's gonna keep my blush from fading. And since I'm on the Keys Soulcare, I will mention something that I don't know if I can say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Keys Soulcare is about to launch a product that I cannot wait to talk about. I actually got to sneak preview it last night at their event before the concert, and I cannot wait to be the first one to review it. I feel like it's gonna be a product for me. Wait for it. Okay, so now that I have my blush base on, I'm gonna be going in with my concealer and also with my foundation. So for concealer today, I'm gonna be using my Tarte Shape Tape. This is what I use in my real life because this is what lasts in humidity. This is what lasts in heat. The coverage is super full, super glam. To me, this is the world's #1 concealer. There is absolutely nothing better than Tarte Shape Tape for me and for my skin. I am just obsessed with it. Always have been, always will be. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my NARS bronzing cream in Laguna 3. I've been obsessing over this one, you already know. And I'm doing things kind of backwards, not in the way that I usually apply my makeup, but this is for real life and this is for humidity, and also this is a full glam. So I do wanna show you the steps that I take in order to ensure that my makeup lasts throughout sweat and humidity. This is what we're here for. All right, so I'm grabbing my Laguna bronzer. I'm doing a little bit of a contour here under my cheeks, little bit on the jawline, just like that. This is looking very crazy at the moment, but I promise you this will make sense. I gotta say, this brush from NARS that's specifically meant for this cream bronzer is really, really great. I absolutely love. I'm just gonna stipple this product in. This is looking very, very bronzy, kind of going around my hair, not really getting too much into the hairline. And then I'm gonna blend down the contour underneath my jawline, and then blend up my cheek contour, just like that. Another thing that helps me keep my makeup looking good is actually a very simple tip, but it's something that not enough people say, but keeping your hair up and away from your face is actually very helpful. Also, keeping your hair in a tight bun is a no-brainer. It kind of lifts the face. So it essentially gives you like a more flawless canvas to work with. And when hair doesn't stick to your greasy face, let's face it, your makeup's gonna look better. All right, so now that I've blended everything out, finally I am ready for my foundation. I'm ready to blend out this concealer. So for foundation, I'm gonna be using the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation, the new one in the shade 3.70 Tan Honey. My Tarte Shape Tape concealer is medium, and this is the shade that I always use, so it's not like my summer shade or anything like that. It's just like my regular shade. So for foundation, as you can see, I'm not adding too many dots. I'm just kind of adding them strategically to my problem zones and like to the places where I just need a little bit more coverage, which generally for me is my jawline, because that's where I tend to break out more. That's where I tend to need more coverage. I have a lot of acne scars there. And so I'm kind of just like spreading it across with my finger at first. But then I'm going to take this wet beauty blender, and I'm just going to start blending and rolling that into my skin. So not only will this make my contour and my blush and everything else look a lot more natural, because essentially I'm just like sealing everything in, but also it will just add coverage only to the places where I need coverage. So because this is a foundation that's a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more opaque, and I always like playing up my freckles, I'm not really moving it too far up. As you can see, my freckles are still showing through because there is no coverage here. The only thing that I applied here were the two key SOULCARE products, the Illuminating Serum and also the cream blush. And I'm kind of just blending and rolling the foundation into the blush, but I'm not covering it. Again, with that strategic placement. I'm also gonna start blending out this concealer that I also applied very strategically to just the areas that I want to pop out or brighten, which is around the nose, under the eyes, in between the brows. So there you have it. It's starting to come together for me. Anyway, so going back to energy. Last night was amazing. And the energy in the room was so great, it was palpable. I don't know if you've ever had one of those moments where everything just aligns and every single person that you talk to is just bouncing off your energy and radiating the same kind of light. That's kind of what was happening to me yesterday. My night started off with the Key SOULCARE event, which was actually a very, very intimate event. I think I might have been the only beauty product reviewer there. Everybody else was like either a TikToker or like an Instagram creator, but basically it was just a very intimate select group of people, some of whom I knew, some of whom I just met for the first time, but everyone that I met was like on the same wavelength of energy, and that, I gotta say, was a very powerful feeling. Afterwards, the brand invited us to Alicia Keys' concert, and I went with the brand, but my other half, Lee, the swatch model, also went to the same concert. However, he went not with the brand, he went with the band. Let's just put it that way. We're actually really, really close friends with someone who's very close to Alicia, her brother. And so Lee went to the concert with our friend, and then we met up afterwards for like the little after party with Alicia and the team, and it was just awesome. Like the vibes were so on point. Everybody was just so happy to be there. Everybody was so positive and so welcoming. It was truly, truly an amazing, amazing time. I should really start talking through my tutorials a little bit more because I feel like the makeup goes faster that way and it's a little bit more interesting for me to apply it on. Because look, now I've blended out my foundation, I've blended out my concealer, and the skin is radiating all this light and positive energy that I have inside of me. Do you guys see it? Do you feel it? I feel like I've covered up a little too much of my contour, so I'm just gonna stipple back whatever was left on my brush. There we go, looking good. And then I'm gonna take my Jones Road pencil, the face pencil that I love. I'm just gonna fix a couple of my imperfections here, specifically in the areas where I did not apply foundation, in the cheek area. So I'm just gonna kind of disguise some of my freckles, some of my acne scars, just like take care of a couple of problems here and there. And then I'm gonna grab my One Size powder. This is one of my favorite powders for smoothing, for setting. But before I do that, there's one extra step that I like to do, and that is take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I'm generally not a setting spray person, but this setting spray, this particular one, I feel like it actually makes a difference, especially in humidity, if you're gonna be wearing your makeup for a long time. So this one I do like to whip out ever so often. Today is that ever so often moment. I'm gonna spray my face, kind of all over. And then I'm gonna take my same Beauty Blender sponge. I'm gonna take like a clean side, and I'm just gonna pounce that in. I don't like to actually let it set on its own. Just like to gently tap it in, like that. So now once I've done that, I like to go in with my One Size setting powder. And first and foremost, I like to set the under eye and kind of just like smooth down and set the porous zones. This is what gets very oily on me. This center area almost never stays matte, but if I apply it quickly right on top of my setting spray, then this like order of steps actually makes a really big difference for me. So kind of just like whisking this powder down, smoothing down the pores or any textured areas. I'm gonna set my lids too and this area in between my brows. So I don't like to go too cakey with powder, especially in the summertime and humidity. I feel like it just never works. So instead what I like to do is gently set the rest of my face with my Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. That was a mouthful. So now I'm just gonna lightly dust the rest of my face with this powder. Okay, so now that I've set the face, I'm gonna move on to brows. For my brows today, I'm gonna use the Gimme Brow Plus Volumizing Pencil in shade 4.5. I'm just gonna elongate my brow ever so slightly. My brows are already laminated using the Makeup by Mario Master Brow Gel. So as you can see, I'm just extending the tail, keeping the shape somewhat natural, but on the thinner side. I'm not actually thickening the brow too much. I'm just filling in any gaps. And like that. And then I'm gonna grab my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen, shade black, and make the whole thing look as natural as possible. Again, not thickening anything. I'm actually going for a little bit more of a thinner, more laminated brow. And now moving on to the eyes. I've really been digging the recent siren eye trend. I actually think I have a pretty decent eye shape for this type of eye look, for the siren eye. Because my eyes are already upturned and because they're almond shape, actually gives me like a really good base to start with. So this is what I've been doing lately, as opposed to like a really dramatic smoky eye or like something that needs a lot of blending. I feel like this is still very, very glam, very current, but just a lot easier to achieve. So for the siren eye specifically, this is what I wore yesterday to the SOULCARE and Unleashed concert event. I used the NYX Epic Smoke Liner in the shade Mocha Match to basically lift up my wing like that. I'm kind of like following the natural pattern of my lash line, but in the inner half of the corner. And I'm just extending it from the inner corner outwards like that. I'm kind of keeping it messy, easy. And then I'm taking the other edge of this pen, which looks like a little brush, and I'm just blurring it and blending it out like that. Super, super, super easy. I'm gonna repeat the same thing on this eye. This pencil is really easy to smudge, so it's almost mistake proof. I think the key to lasting makeup, especially a lasting full glam in the summertime heat, the key is layering. So just like I layered my face base, my blush, my setting spray, and my foundation, I'm gonna be doing the same thing to my eye look. So essentially I'm starting out with a very easily smudgeable type of base, this pencil. Kind of like a cream to powder formula, something that's easy to blend, something that's really easy to apply. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it with powder. So I'm gonna be using the Pat McGrath Mothership 10 palette. This one, Moonlit Seduction. This is just the palette that I have handy. Of course, you could use anything that you have. I'm gonna grab this pencil brush from Makeup Geek, dip into this brown shadow. Basically, I'm going to set and smudge this liner a little bit further. So essentially what I'm creating is like a smoky liner look meets siren eye. Super, super easy to do. Very glam, very current. And also because I'm using the different textures, this will ensure that this look will last. That's a good preliminary step. Next, I'm gonna dip into this bronzy shadow. Add that all over my movable lid, up to the crease. And my crease is very, very low, kind of like overlapping with all this smoke that I have going on over here, blending it out. Next, I'm gonna dip my finger into the sparkly shadow, and I'm gonna add a bit of sparkle to the very center of the lid, and I'm gonna spread it all the way to the top of my brow. This is what's gonna add that glam. This is specifically why I love Pat McGrath's eyeshadows and her Mothership palettes, because there's always this beautiful, wet, sparkle looking eyeshadow that adds so much dimension and just so much glam to your looks. It makes it look like you tried when you actually didn't. It's the eyeshadow that tried. Next, I'm gonna grab a small brush, Refer 03, dip it into this champagne shade, and add that to the inner corner. Basically, I'm surrounding the inner corner, kind of creating like an inner corner wing around the tear duct, but not as obvious as in the siren eye, because this is still done with shadow, so it's still looking and feeling very, very soft. Finally, for the eye look, I'm gonna grab my MAC Brushstroke 24-hour liner, and I'm basically gonna sharpen the bottom edge of this wing to actually make it look like a wing. I'm gonna elongate it and bring it back and just connect to my top lash line, making sure I get in between those lashes. Sorry, I kind of got carried away with trying to perfect this liner that I am loving. Final step for the eyes is obviously the lashes. So I'm gonna curl mine, top and bottom this time. And I'm gonna reach for this Lancome Lash Idole waterproof mascara. And basically, I'm gonna make sure that my lashes are waterproofed. I really like this mascara because not only is it waterproof, it actually makes my lashes super, super, super volumized. Separates them, makes them look like doll lashes, and it also holds on to the curl. I feel like with this mascara and with this type of eye look, I don't need falsies, which also makes this eye look less heavy, thus it helps it look fresher longer. Not that falsies can actually make your makeup less long lasting, but I feel like false lashes are heavy, so they can tire out your eyes, which then can make you blink more, and it can also compromise the longevity of your eye makeup. But this mascara is definitely an incredible find. Look at my actual lashes. I'm making that ugly face and applying some to my lower lashes. One final thing I'm gonna do is add some powder blush on top of my cream blush that's already been set with powder. So I'm gonna be using the Pat McGrath Blush Without Caution in Divine Rose 2. I'm gonna use the rosy shade here in the center. I'm just gonna pop out my cheek a little bit. Just kind of like hug the back of the cheekbone with this beautiful color. And as I've mentioned many times before, powder blush is not something that generally lasts very long on me, but because I already have an undertone of blush with the cream blush, this will pop a lot more and it will look a lot more vibrant for longer. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the shade 2. This is a very neutral bronzer. It's not too orangey and it's not too cool. I'm gonna use this massive Morphe brush, M402, and kind of just like hug underneath the cheekbone. Just like lightly set my forehead, my nose. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with my highlighter. For my highlighter today, I'm gonna use the Sigma Savanna highlighter. This one is really beautiful, really forgiving on the skin, super blinding, super glamorous looking. One of my faves, actually. I'm gonna use this Sigma Skin Perfector brush and kind of just paint that on like so, like so. For the lips, you could really go either way, but what I'm gonna do is reach for one of my favorite lip liners, Persona Cosmetics Almond. I'm gonna overline my lip shape on the top and on the bottom center. This is just a nudie type of shade on me. And then I'm gonna take Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk number 3 Intense, which is a brown, and I'm kind of gonna contour my lip with this. I'm gonna darken the outer corners. Next, I'm gonna reach for this Half Magic Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Magic Brownie. I really love this shade. It's like a beautiful nudie brown. And then I'm gonna add just a hint of gloss on top using the Huda Beauty Silk Balm in Spicy. This one is a lip plumper that I actually really, really like. I'm gonna add just a little bit to the center of the mouth. And essentially, my glam look is complete. So now let me release the hairs. Hi. These are looking a little bit like devil horns right now, but I promise I'm gonna make them work. Something like this for now is fine. But this is essentially the final look here in Studio Lights. Let me go over everything. First, the skin. I know it seemed like I used a lot of different products, from concealers to cream bronzers to contour to foundation to different types of blushes, but I layered them very strategically in a way that doesn't feel or look heavy. In fact, when all of this is put together, it actually looks very glamorous and it looks almost flawless to the naked eye. Granted, my skin isn't flawless, but this is probably as flawless as my skin can get to look in makeup. So this is essentially what I would wear for an upscale outing or for a more glamorous type of event, especially in the summertime, if I want my makeup to last all day or all night and withstand humidity and withstand the summer heat. This is what I do in my real life. This is what the makeup looks like in Studio Lights, but now let me show you what it actually looks like in real light, in real life, in a real life situation. All right, you guys, so I hope you like this video. I hope you like this look. I hope you enjoyed my positive vibes in this video. I really do feel a little bit elated from just like the last couple of days. I feel really good. I feel that my energy is finally in the right place. And so, of course, I want to send it back to you so that we can share the positive energy. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video, zooming on out so that you can click on my other couple of videos. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out, and I'm out.